The classroom assessment technique that I have chosen is observation. The definition of observation is A, the act or faculty of observing, and B, the fact of being observed. Some facts about observational learning. The type of learning that occurs as a function of observing is the ability to retain and replicate a skill executed by others. Observational learning can take place at all stages in life, but it is thought to work better during childhood, particularly as authority becomes important. It is also known as vicarious learning. It involves the process of learning to copy or model the action through observing another. Observational learning is associated with the work of Albert Bandura, who implemented some of the seminal studies in the area and initiated social learning theory. He called this process modeling and provided 4 conditions required for someone to successfully model the behavior of someone else. In order for the behavior to be learned, the observer must see and be able to recall the modeled behavior. They must also have the motor skills in order to reproduce and the motivation to carry out the action. Motivational encouragement must be used, and punishment may discourage the repetition of the skill. The effect on behavior can include teaching new behaviors, increase or decrease of frequency of learned and similar behaviors. An example of this is observing a model excelling in piano playing may encourage an observer to excel in playing another instrument. Why do we use observation as an informal strategy for the course? In a field such as food service, the common domains of learning are psychomotor and cognitive. Observation can work when the instructor performs the skills to teach and then students model the skill. The type of students in this particular program are typically adult learners with little or no formal training, who have been absent from the learning system for years and spent many of their grown years either incarcerated, involved in addictions, or living lifestyles that require them to go back to basic learning skills, while growing trust in the authority and structure of a positive learning system. Observational learning can encourage students from backgrounds such as listed previously to see, recall, and carry out the model behavioral skill. It can also allow the students to learn at their own pace and learning ability in a positive atmosphere. How observation works. The instructor performs this task, allowing the students to ask questions while observing the procedure. The task can be repeated several times before and after the students model the task, while being observed by the instructor. The introductory course allows students to decide if they want to move on from Level 1 Basic to the Fresh Choices Level 2 course. Observation strategy works best in smaller classes where students are able to observe the instructor. The instructor observes the student, making notes for feedback. There is always time allotted for repeat instructions, questions, and feedback. Advantages for the students can include an increase in self-confidence, individual feedback on their performance, and ability to make changes to improve performance, while not feeling the anxiety related to formal graded techniques. The instructor can focus on the validity and reliability of the instruction method through successive course delivery, allowing for opportunity to make positive changes if required. The disadvantages can include the inability for the instructor to be able to view all tasks by each student, while some students may be nervous with someone watching over them while they are performing. Instructors may not be as objective with all students. Good practices for observational technique are: students are made aware of how the observational technique works. Students will always be able to observe first and then model the task. Students will be observed during their performance by the instructor to ensure mastery of the skill. The instructor will repeat it if it is viewed that the students are unable to perform the task properly. Students can ask and receive feedback during and after the class. This is the informal evaluation sheet that the instructor will mark during the student's performance. Note that there is a space for repeat performances, instructor's comments, and for students' comments when it is shared during feedback. Once the stats are documented, the sheet will be given to the student to encourage practice of the skill for improvement and to ensure them that it does not affect their grade. Students will have feedback throughout and after the class. Based on feedback, instructional changes may occur should successive concerns arise. At the end of the course, student survey will allow a second chance for students to raise concerns with observational and other assessment techniques used during the course. The validity of the observational strategy of assessment will occur when students can model the performance of the skill up to the standard required. The observational assessment will be used throughout the course to achieve many of the goals and objectives. This positive style of assessment could help transfer an angry chef like Gordon Ramsay into a chef modeled after Escoffier himself.